Throughout his career in comedy, Katt Williams has said that no one really recalls Kevin Hart coming up the traditional way. There's no clear memory of him doing small gigs for years, no gradual rise, and no real stories about long struggles before reaching success. Katt claims that when Kevin arrived in Los Angeles, he quickly landed major opportunities. He had a sitcom, a film role, and big deals that most comedians spend years trying to achieve. From Katt's point of view, it seemed arranged, almost like everything was set up in advance or tied to some kind of agreement, suggesting that in Hollywood, not everyone moves up on their own. Some individuals are selected, placed in key spots early, and supported by influential figures working behind the scenes. And once they step into that space, they tend to follow a set direction. Katt highlighted that Kevin's early career story didn't completely make sense to him. He mentioned that Kevin spoke about developing his comedy background on the East Coast, yet at the same time, he was quickly succeeding in Los Angeles with strong backing from major industry. Trying to say here is that the same group of people keeps getting chances, and the same familiar names continue helping each other move forward. He compared it to a closed circle where you're either part of it or left out. And if you're not ready to follow certain expectations, you don't get access. That's where his remarks about selling your soul come from. He didn't mean it in a literal sense, but rather that some individuals let go of their personal values just to get ahead. According to Katt, once someone makes that decision, their role becomes easy. They carry on like nothing ever happened and continue supporting the system. He also suggested that Kevin has played a part in keeping this cycle going and has allegedly helped protect the wrong people.
I've had people throw millions of dollars in my face to do something I didn't want to do. And what? Just, you've been off, yeah. Oh, they're in the room.
Yeah, I don't want to.
Yeah.
That was my way of cueing you. Like, it's open dialogue.
Yeah. You want me to keep talking about it?
By all means, we can talk about anything, but
don't do it.
Yeah,
He also mentioned situations where actors are pushed to do things they may not feel comfortable with, such as wearing specific outfits for certain roles, which Kevin Hart himself agreed to at one point.
The new pope is not Turkson. The new pope is 9-year-old Oscar nominee Pavensine Wallace.
Wow. Wow. I don't think anyone saw this one coming.
Katt said that some people refuse and end up staying in the same place, while others agree and suddenly see their careers rise quickly. In his view, that isn't just luck or chance.
It is possible that there isn't anything funnier than a guy in a dress. And if that's the case, then it might also be said that there's nothing funnier than a black guy in a dress. Okay, well, I watched all of my friends throughout my entire life be able to dunk a basketball, but not me. So everybody can't do everything. So, you know, some of us make choices. I think it's not a biggest choice for others. I'm saying at the end of the day, Kevin doesn't have to worry about what people are going to say about him wearing a dress because of the long line of dress-wearing people before him. So now we have Big Mama's house 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
I've never seen Medea in a pantsuit. I think she wears dresses. So now I'm saying, why are we picking on poor little Kevin Hart? Because it was his turn next.
Okay.
Some of us are against the Illuminati, and we are against the Illuminati at our own detriment. When people are against the Illuminati, then they get punched in the face all the time. The press hates them, and nobody likes them. End quote.
We all love Dave Chappelle.
Exactly. Dave Chappelle has never been a part of the Illuminati. They don't want him or me or people like us.
Yeah.
But now it's not necessary for us to stir up that hornet's nest unless we intend to get stung 1,000,000 times. I didn't understand that. They had to sting me 1,000,000 times. Right. I'm still not going to join, but I respect it a little more.
At the same time, he believes some others chose a quicker path to success. What makes Katt's claims more interesting to many people is that similar ideas have been echoed by others, including Orlando Brown. Orlando said this wasn't anything new to him. He began by pointing out that many people in comedy don't value the craft the way they should. Then he changed direction and shared something more personal. He said he once sat with Katt in his home and listened as he spoke openly about what truly happens behind the scenes.
Before I go deeper, I will say that it's none of my business, the personal relationships and all the stuff that was talked about. So I'm not going to talk about that. But I will talk about what I've experienced. And what I've experienced is sitting in front of Katt Williams at his own house, $3 million mansion in Malibu. And this man told Tory Hart exactly what Kevin Hart did in order to be where he's at. Now, I don't know if it was Kevin that pissed him off. I don't know who it was that pissed him off. But I do understand that the comedy world is nothing to play with. And since, Richard Pryor left us, God rest his soul, it's more like, everybody's trying to be Richard Pryor. And I can't put myself in position to not understand why some people just don't have the kind of respect for Katt that they should have. I will also say that a lot of people know that he knows that he's helped them in a major way. Huge ways. Silently. For no recognition or none of that. It's just being, who he is as a person. And when I sat in front of him with Torrey Hart that night, when Reno Rankin was still alive, it was more like, Kevin been pissing off a lot of people, comedically, you know what I'm saying? And I think that instead of trying to bash somebody that knows what they're talking about and bash somebody that has respect in the comedy world, I think that they need to look deeper into why is he letting this information.
In his opinion, when someone like Katt, who is respected in the comedy world, starts speaking out, there's usually a deeper reason for it. He suggested that behind all the laughs and success, there are hidden tensions in comedy that most people never notice. Old problems, silent rivalries, and issues that build over time until someone finally decides to talk. And according to Orlando, that time may have finally arrived. He also said that Katt has quietly supported many people in the industry without ever asking for recognition, which to him, made Katt's words even harder to overlook.
That's not, and don't just think, that's my question to you. Who pissed him off? Who do you think pissed him off?
Well, it would seem as if a lot of people pissed him off.
No, it was only one person, and they have a clan of people behind him. Yeah. It was Kevin. So, at the end of the day, I'm just going to keep it real with you, and it's like, Kevin doesn't want to be a dinosaur. He's really a velociraptor. And some people are actually T-Rexes. And we have a system to break in this universe. Now, if I keep going with this posting that everyone's privy to, it's going to unlock certain systems in the universe that prove that dinosaurs are actually not extinct. That's what Katt knows. He knows the inner workings of how people turned into huge comedians. And I guess,
he says Kevin is an industry plant.
No, man. I mean, Kevin is a dinosaur, and I can't, I'm not gonna go back and forth with you. He's Frankie Lyman, and ooh ah, ooh ah.
He also rejected the idea that Katt was simply reacting emotionally. Instead, he implied that Katt may know more than he is openly sharing, and that there could be things going on behind the scenes that the public is not supposed to fully understand. And that's when the discussion shifted into a more serious and darker direction.
Was when he said he turned down $50 million 4 times.
No, he didn't.
To protect his integrity and his virgin hole.
No, he didn't. He did that. He did that to say that Kevin Hart took $50 million to unvirgin his.
Can you explain a little bit?
No, I just told you what happened with that.
So you don't believe Katt when he says that he turned down $50 million 4 times?
No, I believe that was a punch at what he did, what Kevin Hart did for that movie Get Hard. He showed y'all what he did. He fucked Will Ferrell's to get hard. Oh. Now he's high. Now he's acting all hard. Every picture he's just short. He wasn't ready. All that. It's the same thing, man. I don't put myself in any kind of position to think that somebody is good when they have 4 people writing their jokes. Kevin Hart has a team of people that write his jokes. Kevin Hart writes some jokes, yes, but that's not the real Kevin I come here telling you all the time who's the realist and who's not. Kevin, I told you when I first came here, bro, Kevin Hart is not that tall. Kevin Hart is not that tall. 50 Tyson is the real Kevin Hart. So if we're going to make sense of some 50 Tyson is the real Kevin Hart. So all that Kevin got right now, acting like Kevin is Kevin. All that, the house is, all that man was raped, robbed, and belittled. They are raping and pillaging every single thing on this.
Orlando suggested that the comedy world isn't as pure as it appears from the outside. He pointed out that there are hidden pressures, expectations, and choices being made that most fans never get to see or hear about. He didn't explain everything in detail, but the message was still clear. What makes the situation even more troubling is that Kevin appears to have turned away from his values and his roots once the money started coming in. He began following directions from those managing him. At least, that's how the story was later shared by Mo.
Apologize to being my wife and my kids. And I just, it's a when you know you're wrong and there's no excuses for your wrong behavior. At the end of the day, man, I just simply got to do better. But I'm not going to also allow a person to have financial gain off of my mistakes. And in this particular situation, that's what was attempted. I said I'd rather fess up to my mistakes.
But the situation didn't end there. Reports later surfaced claiming that someone had footage of Kevin with another woman and was allegedly trying to blackmail him with it. Instead of staying silent, Kevin chose to address the matter publicly first. He said he would not allow anyone to profit from his mistake, so he came forward and admitted what had happened. That's when the story gained even more attention. The woman involved, Montia Sabag, later shared her side of the story. She denied any attempt to extort anyone and said she had nothing to do with the recording itself. According to her, the encounter was secretly filmed inside a private hotel room, and she claimed she was also a victim in the situation.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Montia Sabag. I was involved with Kevin Hart a month ago. Since then, my pictures and my name have been released with lies written about me. I am not an extortionist. I'm not a stripper. I'm a recording artist and an actress, and I have not broken any laws. I had nothing to do with these recordings. I hired Lisa Bloom to protect my rights. I'm truly sorry for any involvement that I had in that.
Thank you, Montia. Good morning. I am attorney Lisa Bloom, and I'm very pleased to represent Montia Sabag. Montia is a crime victim. Someone apparently snuck cameras into Kevin Hart's private hotel suite in Las Vegas and recorded bedroom images of the two of them. It is a crime to secretly put a camera in a private place like a hotel room. It is another crime to secretly record people in a private place. It is yet another crime to disseminate those images. Montia is therefore the victim of multiple felonies under state and federal law. Although it has been reported that law enforcement is investigating this matter, we have no evidence of that. Montia has not been contacted. Therefore, we are announcing today that we will go to the authorities immediately to report this matter. We want to be sure that these crimes are thoroughly investigated and that the criminal responsible for these felonies.
Eventually, law enforcement stepped in. The case led to charges against someone close to Kevin, his former friend Jonathan Todd Jackson, who was accused of trying to extort him by threatening to release the video. Interestingly, before all of this unfolded, Kevin had made comments in an earlier interview that now seem very pointed. He talked about how dangerous cheating has become in the age of social media, saying there's no way to truly keep anything hidden anymore and that a single mistake can destroy everything. In hindsight, many people felt those remarks almost foreshadowed what later happened to him. The controversy didn't end there. Some people also began revisiting the early timeline of his relationship with Eniko Parrish. Online discussions pointed out that it appeared to overlap with his marriage to his first wife, Torrey Hart. Eniko denied that she broke up a marriage, saying Kevin and Torrey were already separated when their relationship started. However, Torrey disputed that version of events, arguing that the timeline shared publicly did not fully match what actually happened.
Big problem. And the problem is Eniko. Eniko has been throwing shade at Torrey and saying that she plays the victim and then dropped this huge bombshell
on social media
that she was with Kevin for 8 years. Fact being that Kevin
and Torrey only been divorced for almost 6, so therefore
there's an overlap.
There's a big overlap, and they weren't together. So Torrey is claiming that her and Kevin 8 years ago were physically together.
Yes. So, I mean, they just had a baby. Do the math. His child's only 9 years old, so they couldn't have been that unhappy.
So we got Tori out at the Laugh Factory over the weekend, yesterday actually, and you've got to listen to the words because she's careful in what she says, but when you listen to this, I think you're going to realize this isn't news to Tori Hart.
It's been 6 years. I really don't understand where all this is coming from.
Yeah. It's just, you know, people are calling her out because they're saying, hey, if that's the timeline, then you must have been, you know, messing around or something.
I mean, numbers don't lie. You know, dates don't lie.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, like, you know, she forced my hand to address this couple thing. Because I'm going to tell you like this. The most important thing to me is my children.
Absolutely.
So if my children see something that she's right and that makes me look like a liar, no. I don't care about anything but how my children feel about me.
So did you notice there that she said she forced my hand to go public? She knew about this. It's not like this was news to her.
Of course it's not. Listen,
But she dealt with it privately.
Shame on Aniko.
Why would Aniko do it? Why would
Isn't
Aniko
there something?
do that?
She's really pregnant, right?
No.
Did
Aniko
she
is
have
pregnant.
pregnancy brain? Did she mess it up? Did she ever to take it down? Is it
Why
still
would
up there?
Why would Aniko do that?
Because Aniko wanted to be messy yesterday. That's why she did it. She felt some type of way. She wanted to put up 8 years and lifetimes ago and all that nonsense.
Then there were smaller incidents that kept adding more attention to the situation. In his own book, Kevin admitted that cheating had been part of his past. He said that during his relationship with his first wife, Tori Hart, things were complicated from the beginning. Their arguments often became intense, and instead of resolving issues, both sides at times ended up seeing other people. Kevin also confessed that even after getting married, he continued making poor decisions. He described it as living two different lives, acting one way in public while behaving differently in private. At one stage, things became so chaotic that one of the women involved exposed everything, which ultimately contributed to the breakdown of the marriage. He also recalled a moment when Tori caught him with another woman, leading to a heated confrontation. Emotions ran high, and it became one of the darkest periods of his life. Tori, however, did not ignore what had happened.
I'm tearing up now because, you know, it does hurt that my kids have to be around a woman who broke up a marriage. When you have your kids saying, Mommy, you know, what happened? I was with him when he was selling sneakers, $5 an hour. I was at every show. I was at his first show where he ever did stand up. I pushed him. I would be there. I would help him reenact. I was his muse. I mean, I was there from the...
His ex-wife later shared her thoughts about Kevin and how she felt, saying she had been hurt by the many ways he had wronged her over time.
Like, Kevin, you and Kevin both showed up at the same club, and he dropped like $40,000 on Making It Rain, and he was with his new fiance. Do you think this was a way, like, was he stunting? And was this a diss to you? Was he doing it like blatantly to you?
You know, I don't know. You'd have to ask him that. I can't speak on his actions.
Right.
I don't know. Yeah.
But were you insulted at all by?
No, I wasn't insulted. I was having a good time. I was with my dude and my friends, and we were actually dancing and having a good time. So no.
So it didn't bother you that he was there just throwing money around like he's, you know?
I mean, he's worth how much now? I think, you know.
I didn't check.
I don't think that was a big issue for him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you notice him dropping all that cash? Were you like pressured to drop more? Did you make it rain too? Look at that.
This is Skimpy. This is my product. This is why I don't really care about anything, because this is in Walmart right now.
What is that, a mixer? That's at
It's
Walmart?
my mixer. Yeah, it's at Walmart. It's about to hit military bases and Target and
military. They be getting down like that in military bases, like in the barracks and whatnot.
Yeah.
So like, were you pressured to like make it rain more when you saw him dropping all his cash?
No, I'm never pressured to do anything. I don't never react after somebody else.
That's true. That's true. You didn't. So it didn't bother you. It really didn't bother you that he was spending so much and. No.
It's not my money.
So it's all relative to his net worth. No.
Yeah.
Does Kevin and his new his fiance have your blessing?
You have to ask them. I don't know.
No, do you wish them luck?
I wish them well. Yeah.
You think they're gonna last?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, when you get married, you want to last, right?
That's true. Are you gonna get an invite to the wedding? You think?
Yeah. You gotta ask Kevin.
Would you go if he invited you?
I don't know.
It depends on the place that we're at when they get married.
Oh, it depends on the location.
Well, yeah, because I'm working. I'm busy.
Let's say
I'm just coming
it's
back from
convenient.
Atlanta doing promos.
Right.
Like, I have a life too. I don't just sit around like, oh my God, what's Kevin doing? Oh
No,
my
I know.
God, what are they doing?
So, when you put together all the claims and stories from people who have been around him, it does suggest that there may be more to Kevin Hart than just his image as a comedian. But the question still remains. Will any solid proof ever actually come out? Share your thoughts in the comments below.